Hi, everyone, and welcome to ChillTalk English. I'm Henry.
And I'm Emma. Today, we're talking about something important for your English learning journey.
Daily routines can help you practice English consistently, but many people don't know where to start.
I remember trying to learn English by studying for hours once a week. It was exhausting and I didn't improve much.
Oh no, what happened?
I would forget everything by the next week. It was like trying to fill a bucket with a hole in it.
I had a similar experience when I first started teaching English. I thought cramming was the best way.
It's frustrating when you don't see progress despite your hard work.
That's why today we're going to help you with simple daily routines for practicing English.
These routines will make your learning much more effective and enjoyable.
So why should you listen to today's episode? First, you'll feel more confident about your daily practice.
Second, you'll learn practical phrases that you can use right away.
And third, you'll be ready to create your own English practice routine.
These routines can help you improve your English step by step.
Learning English is like building a house, one brick at a time.
Today, we're adding some important routine bricks to your English foundation.
With these routines, you can go from irregular practice to consistent improvement. I remember when I was 25, I tried to learn Spanish. I studied for 5 hours once a week for a month.
Oh no! Did you see any progress?
Not really. I could barely introduce myself after all that time. It was discouraging.
That's why daily practice is so important, even if it's just for a few minutes.
Now I can help others who might struggle with consistency in their learning.
I had a student who wanted to learn English for work but couldn't find time to study.
Was that difficult for her?
Very. She felt overwhelmed and almost gave up. She thought she needed hours of study every day.
That's exactly why we're creating this episode today, to help learners like her find simple, effective routines.
Today, we'll cover 4 important routine situations.
First, we'll learn phrases for morning English practice.
Second, we'll practice phrases for evening English routines.
Third, we'll learn useful phrases for daily habits.
And finally, we'll cover weekend English activities.
Each section will have guided response, role plays, a short story, and guided practice.
We'll make it fun and easy so you can use these routines in real life.
At the end, we have a quick quiz to test what you've learned.
Plus, we'll give you a challenge to start your own English routine.
Make sure to listen carefully for our quick quiz at the end of the episode.
It's a fun way to check how much you've learned.
You might be surprised at how many routine words you remember.
It's like a little game to test your knowledge.
If you enjoy today's episode, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel.
That helps more people find ChillTalk English and learn with us.
You can also share this episode with friends who want to improve their English.
Let's get started with our first scene.
Scene 1. Morning English Practice. Guided Response.
Welcome to our first scene. We're focusing on morning routines for English practice.
Let's learn some useful phrases for starting your day with English.
First, when you wake up, you can say,
Good morning. Time to wake up.
or
I'm starting my English practice.
when you drink your morning coffee or tea, you can say,
I'm drinking my coffee while I practice English.
or
This helps me wake up and learn.
when you read something in English, you can say,
I'm reading English sentences.
or
This improves my vocabulary.
when you review what you learned yesterday, you can say,
I'm reviewing yesterday's lesson.
or
This helps me remember new words.
remember to be consistent with your morning routine.
Excellent. These phrases will help you start your day with English.
Let's move on to some role plays to see how these phrases work in real conversations.
Role play. Now let's practice with a role play. I'll be Alex and Emma will be his roommate Ben.
Good morning, Alex. Time to wake up.
I'm starting my English practice right after breakfast.
What are you doing first?
I'm drinking my coffee while I practice English.
That's a good habit. How do you feel?
It helps me wake up and learn better.
Are you reading something today?
Yes, I'm reading English sentences from my book.
That's great. It improves your vocabulary.
I also review yesterday's lesson every morning.
Why do you do that?
It helps me remember new words better.
Your English is improving so fast.
Thanks to my morning routine, I'm making progress every day. Great job with the role plays. Let's move on.
Up next, we have a short story. As you listen, try to notice how the morning routine phrases you just learned appear naturally in the story.
Our story today is called Maria's Morning Success.
Maria woke up to the sound of her alarm clock at 6:30 a.m. Her eyes were still heavy with sleep, but she knew it was time to start her day. It was the first day of her new English learning routine, and she was both excited and nervous.
Good morning. Time to wake up, she said to herself as she stretched her arms. She had read that starting the day with English would help her learn faster.
Maria went to the kitchen and made herself a cup of tea. As she sipped the warm drink, she opened her English notebook. "I'm drinking my tea while I practice English," she reminded herself.
For 20 minutes, Maria read simple English sentences about daily activities. She underlined new words and tried to remember them. I'm reading English sentences, she said aloud, feeling proud of herself.
After breakfast, Maria took out her phone and listened to a short English lesson. She repeated the phrases after the speaker, trying to copy the pronunciation. This was her favorite part of the morning routine.
At 7:30, Maria reviewed what she had learned the day before. She had memorized 10 new English phrases. I'm reviewing yesterday's lesson, she said, checking her notes. This helps me remember new words.
As Maria left for work, she felt different. She felt more confident and ready to use her English. Her morning routine was working, and she was excited to continue it the next day.
That evening, Maria sat down with her roommate Sophia. How was your day? Sophia asked.
It was great, Maria smiled. I started a new morning English routine. I practice for 30 minutes every day before work.
That sounds amazing, Sophia said. I've always wanted to learn English, but never have time.
You don't need much time, Maria explained. Just 15 to 20 minutes every morning. I drink my tea while I practice, then review what I learned.
Sophia's eyes lit up. Could you help me start a routine?
Of course, Maria said happily. Morning practice is the best way to learn consistently.
The next morning, Sophia joined Maria for her first English practice session. Together, they started their journey to better English.
As Maria watched Sophia practice, she smiled. Her morning routine had not only helped her learn, but also inspired someone else.
Did you hear the phrases, good morning, time to wake up, I'm drinking my coffee while I practice English, and I'm reviewing yesterday's lesson?
Great listening. Now, let's take those same phrases and practice saying them together. It's time for some shadowing practice, where you can repeat the phrases after us.
Shadowing practice. This time, it's your turn. I'll say a phrase, and you repeat after me. Remember to copy my pronunciation and intonation. Try saying it out loud yourself, pausing after you hear each phrase.
Good morning. Time to wake up.
Good morning. Time to wake up.
I'm starting my English practice.
I'm starting my English practice.
I'm drinking my coffee while I practice English.
I'm drinking my coffee while I practice English.
This helps me wake up and learn.
This helps me wake up and learn.
I'm reading English sentences.
This improves my vocabulary. This improves my vocabulary.
I'm reviewing yesterday's lesson.
This helps me remember new words.
This helps me remember new words.
You're doing great. Try to imagine yourself doing these morning activities while you practice the phrases.
Excellent work. When you practice these phrases, Think about how you feel in the morning. This will help you remember them better.
Scene 2. Evening English practice. Guided response.
Welcome to our second scene. We're focusing on evening routines for English practice.
Let's learn some useful phrases for ending your day with English.
First, when you finish your day, you can say,
Good night. Time to sleep.
or
I'm ending my day with English.
when you review what you learned during the day, you can say,
I'm reviewing today's English.
or
This helps me remember what I learned.
when you write in your English journal, you can say,
I'm writing in my English journal.
or
This improves my writing skills.
when you plan for tomorrow's practice, you can say,
I'm planning tomorrow's English practice.
or
This helps me stay organized.
remember to be consistent with your evening routine too.
Excellent! These phrases will help you end your day with English.
Let's move on to some role plays to see how these phrases work in real conversations.
Role play. Now, let's practice with a role play. I'll be Tom, and Emma will be his sister.
Good night, Tom. Time to sleep soon.
I'm ending my day with English practice first.
What are you doing tonight?
I'm reviewing today's English lessons.
That's a good habit. How does it help?
It helps me remember what I learned during the day.
Are you writing in your journal too?
Yes, I'm writing in my English journal every night.
That's great. It improves your writing skills.
I also plan tomorrow's English practice before bed.
Why do you do that?
Why do you do that?
It helps me stay organized and motivated.
Your English is improving so quickly.
Thanks to my evening routine, I practice consistently every day.
Great job with the role plays. Let's move on.
Up next, we have a short story. As you listen, try to notice how the evening routine phrases you just learned appear naturally in the story.
Our story today is called David's Nighttime Success.
David closed his laptop at 10 p.m. after a long day at work. He was tired, but knew he had one more task to complete, his English practice. It had been 3 weeks since he started his evening routine, and he was already seeing progress.
Good night. Time to sleep soon, David said to himself as he stretched. He had made a promise to practice English for 20 minutes every evening, and he was keeping that promise.
David took out his English notebook and reviewed the phrases he had learned that day at work. I'm reviewing today's English, he said aloud, making sure to practice the pronunciation. This helps me remember what I learned.
As he reviewed, David noticed that some phrases were easier to remember than others. He made a note to practice those more tomorrow. His evening routine was helping him identify his strengths and weaknesses.
Next, David opened his English journal. He had been writing in it every night for 2 weeks. I'm writing in my English journal, he said as he wrote about his day. This improves my writing skills.
David wrote 3 simple sentences about his workday using new vocabulary he had learned. He was proud of his progress and could see how his writing was becoming more natural.
Before going to bed, David took out his planner and wrote down his English practice plan for tomorrow. I'm planning tomorrow's English practice, he said, checking his schedule. This helps me stay organized.
As David set his alarm for 6:30 a.m., he felt satisfied with his evening routine. It was becoming a habit, and he didn't have to force himself to do it anymore.
The next morning, David woke up feeling refreshed and ready for his day. He had a clear plan for his English practice and was excited to continue learning.
At work, David's boss asked him to present in English at a meeting next week. Normally, this would have made him nervous, but today he felt confident.
I can do this, David thought to himself. My evening routine is working, and I'm ready for the challenge.
That night, David practiced with even more enthusiasm. His evening routine had not only improved his English, but also his confidence in using it.
As David went to sleep, he smiled, knowing that tomorrow would be another day of progress in his English learning journey.
Did you hear the phrases, good night, time to sleep, I'm reviewing today's English, and I'm writing in my English journal? Try to remember how they were used.
Great listening. Now, let's take those same phrases and practice saying them together. It's time for some shadowing practice, where you can repeat the phrases after us.
Shadowing practice. Your turn. I'll say each phrase and you copy me. Focus on the rhythm and tone. Pause and speak out loud after each phrase.
Good night. Time to sleep.
Good night. Time to sleep.
I'm ending my day with English.
I'm ending my day with English.
I'm reviewing today's English.
This helps me remember what I learned.
This helps me remember what I learned.
I'm writing in my English journal.
This improves my writing skills.
This improves my writing skills.
I'm planning tomorrow's English practice.
This helps me stay organized.
This helps me stay organized.
You're doing great. Try to imagine yourself winding down for the night while you practice these phrases.
Excellent work. When you practice these phrases, think about how you feel at the end of the day. This will help you remember them better.
Scene 3. Daily English Habits, Guided Response.
Welcome to our third scene. We're focusing on daily habits for English practice.
Let's learn some useful phrases for incorporating English into your daily life.
First, when you make English a habit, you can say,
I'm making English a daily habit.
or,
English is part of my routine now.
when you practice English during your daily activities, you can say,
I'm practicing English while I cook.
or,
I'm learning English during my commute.
when you notice progress, you can say,
I'm seeing improvement in my English.
or,
My English is getting better every day.
when you face challenges, you can say,
I'm overcoming difficulties in English.
or,
I'm finding ways to practice more.
remember to be patient with yourself when building habits.
Excellent. These phrases will help you make English a natural part of your daily life.
Let's move on to some role plays to see how these phrases work in real conversations.
Role play. Now let's practice with a role play. I'll be Sarah and Emma will be her colleague Mike.
Hi, Sarah. How's your English learning going?
I'm making English a daily habit now. I practice every day.
That's great. When do you practice?
I'm practicing English while I cook dinner every evening.
That's smart. Do you practice at other times too?
Yes, I'm learning English during my commute to work.
You're really committed. Do you see any progress?
I'm seeing improvement in my English. It's getting better.
Have you faced any difficulties?
I'm overcoming difficulties in English, slowly but surely.
How do you stay motivated?
I'm finding ways to practice more every day. It's working.
Your English is improving so fast.
Thanks to my daily habits, I'm making consistent progress. Great job with the role plays. Let's move on.
Up next, we have a short story. As you listen, try to notice how the daily habit phrases you just learned appear naturally in the story.
Our story today is called Jenny's Daily Success.
Jenny woke up at 7 a.m. and immediately reached for her phone. She didn't check social media or emails first. She opened her English learning app. It had been 60 days since she started her daily English habit, and she was proud of her consistency.
I'm making English a daily habit, Jenny said to herself as she completed her first lesson of the day. She had learned that small, consistent actions lead to big results over time.
While her coffee brewed, Jenny reviewed vocabulary flashcards. I'm practicing English while I wait for my coffee, she said, smiling at how easily she had incorporated English into her morning routine.
On her way to work, Jenny listened to an English podcast. She had downloaded episodes during her lunch break the day before. I'm learning English during my commute, she thought, feeling productive even while stuck in traffic.
At work, Jenny had a presentation to prepare. She decided to write the outline in English to practice her professional vocabulary. I'm using English for my work, she said, feeling confident about her choice.
During her lunch break, Jenny joined an English conversation group online. She was nervous at first, but soon relaxed as she practiced speaking with others from around the world.
That evening, Jenny cooked dinner while listening to an English audiobook. I'm practicing English while I cook, she said, following the recipe and learning food-related vocabulary at the same time.
As she went to bed, Jenny reflected on her day. I'm seeing improvement in my English, she said, noticing how much more comfortable she felt with the language than she had 2 months ago.
The next morning, Jenny woke up with a new challenge. She had been asked to lead a small English workshop at her company. At first, she felt nervous, but then she remembered her progress.
I'm overcoming difficulties in English, she said to herself. I'm finding ways to practice more every day.
Jenny spent the next week preparing for her workshop, using her daily habits to build her confidence. She practiced her presentation, reviewed vocabulary, and even recorded herself speaking to check her pronunciation.
The day of the workshop arrived, and Jenny stood in front of her colleagues. She took a deep breath and began speaking in English. To her surprise, it felt natural and comfortable.
After the workshop, Jenny's colleagues complimented her on her English skills. "Your English is getting better every day," they said.
Jenny smiled, knowing that her daily habits had made this possible. She was excited to continue her English journey and see how far she could go.
As she planned her English practice for the next day, Jenny felt grateful for the simple daily habits that had transformed her learning experience.
Did you hear the phrases, I'm making English a daily habit, I'm practicing English while I cook, and I'm seeing improvement in my English? Try to remember how they were used.
Great listening! Now, let's take those same phrases and practice saying them together. It's time for some shadowing practice, where you can repeat the phrases after us.
Shadowing practice. Now it's all yours. Copy my words and my intonation. Speak aloud after each phrase, just like in real conversation.
I'm making English a daily habit.
I'm making English a daily habit.
English is part of my routine now.
English is part of my routine now.
I'm practicing English while I cook.
I'm practicing English while I cook.
I'm learning English during my commute.
I'm learning English during my commute.
I'm seeing improvement in my English.
I'm seeing improvement in my English.
My English is getting better every day.
My English is getting better every day.
I'm overcoming difficulties in English.
I'm finding ways to practice more.
You're doing great. Try to imagine yourself doing these daily activities while you practice the phrases.
Excellent work. When you practice these phrases, think about how English is becoming a natural part of your life. This will help you remember them better. Scene 4. Weekend English Activities, Guided Response.
Welcome to our fourth and final scene. We're focusing on weekend routines for English practice.
Let's learn some useful phrases for making the most of your weekend for English learning.
First, when you plan weekend English activities, you can say,
I'm planning English activities for the weekend.
or
Weekends are perfect for English practice.
when you join English events, you can say,
I'm joining an English conversation group.
or
I'm attending an English workshop.
when you review your week's progress, you can say,
I'm reviewing my week's English progress.
or
I'm celebrating my English achievements.
when you set goals for next week, you can say,
I'm setting goals for next week's English.
or
I'm preparing for more English practice.
remember to enjoy your weekend while practicing English.
Excellent! These phrases will help you make the most of your weekend for English learning.
Let's move on to some role plays to see how these phrases work in real conversations.
Role play. Now let's practice with a role play. I'll be Chris and Emma will be his friend Anna.
Hi, Chris. What are your plans for this weekend?
I'm planning English activities for the weekend. I want to practice more.
That's great. What activities have you planned?
I'm joining an English conversation group on Saturday.
Nice. Are you doing anything else?
Yes, I'm attending an English workshop on Sunday.
You're really dedicated. Do you review your progress too?
I'm reviewing my week's English progress every weekend.
That's smart. Do you celebrate your achievements?
I'm celebrating my English achievements with small rewards.
Do you set goals for next week?
I'm setting goals for next week's English practice already.
Your English is improving so quickly.
Thanks to my weekend routine, I'm making great progress. Great job with the role plays. Let's move on.
Up next, we have a short story. As you listen, try to notice how the weekend routine phrases you just learned appear naturally in the story.
Our story today is called Oliver's Weekend Adventure.
Oliver woke up on Saturday morning feeling excited. It was the first weekend since he started his English learning journey, and he had planned special activities to practice. He had been studying English for 2 months and was ready to take his learning to the next level.
I'm planning English activities for the weekend, Oliver said as he checked his schedule. He had researched local English events and found a conversation group meeting at a cafe downtown.
After breakfast, Oliver got ready to go out. He put on his jacket and picked up his notebook. Weekends are perfect for English practice, he thought, feeling motivated to make the most of his free time.
At the cafe, Oliver joined the English conversation group. There were about 15 people of different ages and backgrounds, all there to practice their English. I'm joining an English conversation group, he said nervously as he introduced himself.
The group leader welcomed Oliver and asked everyone to share why they were learning English. Oliver explained that he wanted to travel more and communicate with people from different countries. The group encouraged him, and soon he was speaking confidently.
On Sunday morning, Oliver attended an English workshop about travel phrases. The workshop was held at a community center, and the teacher was very enthusiastic. I'm attending an English workshop, Oliver said, taking notes as the teacher explained useful phrases for different travel situations.
During a break, Oliver met a woman named Maria who had been learning English for 5 years. She gave him some tips for staying motivated and suggested some resources he could use at home.
That evening, Oliver sat down at his desk to review his progress. I'm reviewing my week's English progress, he said, looking at his notebook where he had written down new words and phrases he had learned.
Oliver was proud of how much he had improved in just 2 months. He had gone from barely being able to introduce himself to having simple conversations. I'm celebrating my English achievements, he said, treating himself to his favorite dessert.
Before going to bed, Oliver took out his planner and wrote down his goals for the next week. I'm setting goals for next week's English, he said, making a list of specific things he wanted to practice.
The next morning, Oliver woke up feeling refreshed and ready for another week of English learning. His weekend routine had not only helped him practice more, but also given him new motivation and confidence.
As Oliver left for work, he thought about how far he had come in his English journey. He was excited to see how much more he could learn with his consistent practice.
That weekend, Oliver continued his English routine, joining more events and meeting new people. His English was improving every day, and he was becoming more confident in using it.
Did you hear the phrases, I'm planning English activities for the weekend? I'm joining an English conversation group, and I'm setting goals for next week's English? Try to remember how they were used.
Great listening. Now, let's take those same phrases and practice saying them together. It's time for some shadowing practice, where you can repeat the phrases after us.
Shadowing practice. Repeat after me. I'll model each phrase. Pause, then say it with confidence, just like you're speaking to a real person.
I'm planning English activities for the weekend.
I'm planning English activities for the weekend.
Weekends are perfect for English practice.
Weekends are perfect for English practice.
I'm joining an English conversation group.
I'm joining an English conversation group.
I'm attending an English workshop.
I'm attending an English workshop.
I'm reviewing my week's English progress.
I'm reviewing my week's English progress.
I'm celebrating my English achievements.
I'm celebrating my English achievements.
I'm setting goals for next week's English.
I'm setting goals for next week's English.
I'm preparing for more English practice.
I'm preparing for more English practice.
You're doing great. Try to imagine yourself enjoying your weekend while you practice these phrases.
Excellent work! When you practice these phrases, think about how you can make your weekends productive and fun for English learning. This will help you remember them better. Now, let's move on to the vocabulary and phrase breakdown. We'll go over some important words and phrases from these scenes.
Morning routine. Things you do every morning to practice English. Example, my morning routine includes reading English sentences for 10 minutes.
Evening routine. Things you do every evening to practice English. Example, my evening routine helps me remember what I learned during the day.
Daily habit. Something you do every day to practice English. Example, I practice English during my commute as part of my daily habit.
Weekend activity. Special things you do on weekends to practice English. Example, I join English conversation groups as part of my weekend activities.
Consistent practice. Doing English activities regularly without stopping. Example, consistent practice is the key to improving your English skills.
Now, let's test your understanding with a quick quiz.
We'll ask you some questions about daily English routines. Listen carefully and choose the best answer. Check if your answer is correct with the answers given in the comments section of this video. Ready? Let's start.
Question 1. What do you say when you make English a daily habit?
Options. A. I'm practicing English sometimes. B. I'm making English a daily habit. C. I'm learning English next week.
Question 2. How do you describe practicing English while cooking?
Options. A. I'm learning English at night. B. I'm practicing English while I cook. C. I'm reviewing English lessons.
Question 3. What phrase do you use when you see improvement in your English?
Options. A. I'm not improving in English. B. I'm seeing improvement in my English. C. I'm forgetting English words.
Question 4. How do you describe joining an English conversation group?
Options. A. I'm joining an English conversation group. B. I'm studying English alone. C. I'm not practicing English.
Question 5. What do you say when you set goals for next week's English?
Options. A. I'm not planning for next week. B. I'm setting goals for next week's English.
Great work, everyone. Let's do a quick recap of what we learned in this episode.
Wow, what a journey we've had today. From morning routines to weekend activities, we've learned so many useful phrases for daily English practice.
That's right. Now you know how to create morning, evening, daily, and weekend routines to practice English consistently.
We also practiced role plays, stories, and shadowing, so you can use these phrases in real-life situations.
Remember, learning English is like building a house, one brick at a time. And today, we added many routine bricks to your English foundation.
Next time you think about practicing English, you'll have a whole system of routines to choose from.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of ChillTalk English. Keep practicing, keep learning, and get ready for consistent improvement.
Before we finish, we have a listener challenge for you.
We want you to post a short comment about your English practice routine using 2 phrases you learned today. For example, I'm making English a daily habit. I'm seeing improvement in my English.
It's a great way to practice what you've learned and share with other learners.
Let's quickly recap the key phrases we've learned so far.
For morning routines, good morning, time to wake up, and I'm reviewing yesterday's lesson.
For evening routines, good night, time to sleep, and I'm writing in my English journal. For daily habits, I'm practicing English while I cook, and I'm seeing improvement in my English.
For weekend activities, I'm planning English activities for the weekend, and I'm setting goals for next week's English.
These phrases will help you create and maintain consistent English practice routines.
Thanks for joining us today on ChillTalk English. We hope you found these routine phrases helpful.
If you enjoyed this episode, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel.
You can also share this episode with friends who want to improve their English with daily practice.
Next time, we'll be talking about English for shopping and bargaining.
Until then, keep practicing your English every day. Remember, small steps lead to big progress.
Goodbye, everyone, and enjoy your English learning journey.